We have to stop the bleeding.
Mayor King does not recognize that he needs to follow the law.
Those against him claim he's created a $60 million budget deficit and hasn't acted appropriately months after a video here surfaced appearing to show him smoking and drinking on city property.
Let me introduce to you East Cleveland's Mayor Brandon King. Here's a guy who's supposed to be running a city, but instead we get clips like this. King drinking and smoking on city property like it's his own private club. And while he's having a big party, East Cleveland's finances are in a complete free fall. The city is staring down a $30 million debt if King keeps up with his reckless spending. It's almost like he's using the tax dollars as a slush fund while everything around him crumbles.
Tonight, a major dust-up in East Cleveland has some accusing the mayor and finance director of failing residents.
That sounds very familiar. If you're talking about the township, the mayor and the finance director. Anyway, let's keep going.
Somebody going to jail.
Battle over money that prompted the city council to take action today. Neil Fisher has the latest.
We have to stop the bleeding. So we cannot keep going into a deficit.
Tonight, East Cleveland City Council says they have no faith in East Cleveland Mayor Brandon King. On Thursday, City Council filed an emergency resolution to charge the mayor and finance director with dereliction of duty.
When your own council has to file an emergency resolution to say, our mayor is tanking the city, can we get some help here? You know things are bad, because this is not just a minor disagreement. It's like them waving the white flag and saying King is straight up not doing his job. It's like the city's on fire, and instead of grabbing a hose, the mayor's out there pouring gasoline. Dereliction of duty sounds fancy, but in plain English, it just means King is completely failing at the basics of running a city. He sucks. The council can't get him to follow the approved budget. Instead, they're watching helplessly as he steers East Cleveland off a cliff. The fact they have to take such drastic measures right now shows how desperate these people are. It's a political dumpster fire at this point.
That council hereby requests the East Cleveland Municipal Court to issue a probable cause ruling that the two officers exceeded the authority of their public offices by recklessly creating deficiencies and expending more than the council appropriated for the year 2023.
City Council told 3 News the mayor's proposed budget of $36 million is $10 million more than the budget City Council approved. City Council says East Cleveland will be $30 million in debt in the next 5 years if the mayor continues the spending.
Yes, nothing screams responsible leadership like driving a city into a $30 million hole. Mayor King is just throwing money into the void. I mean, $30 million? This isn't just a tiny slip up. It's trying to plug a sinkhole with Band-Aids. It blows my mind as someone who's a mayor that can look at a $30 million deficit and think, yeah, this is sustainable. This is working out really well. The council is waving a red flag the size of Ohio, and King's is just like, nah, I got this. This makes a lot of sense. But the problem is, spoiler alert, he doesn't. You can't just blow away taxpayer money like you're gambling at a casino. The sad part is, this isn't just numbers on the paper. This is real people getting hit by this recklessness, with essential services getting gutted while King's out there spending like he got monopoly money. It's absolutely wild. Before we continue the story, let's talk about East Cleveland. It's a city that feels like it's on the edge of collapse. The poverty rate here is a staggering 39.5%, more than double the state average. Almost half the population is struggling to survive, with a median household income of just $23,000. Which is 1/3 of the state average. This is a full-blown economic disaster. And if you thought the poverty rate was bad, wait until you hear about the crime. East Cleveland has one of the highest crime rates in the country. You have a 1 in 30 chance of being a victim of either a violent or property crime, which makes walking down the street feel like you're playing a game of GTA. And top it all off, the city's infrastructure is in complete shambles. The median home value sits at just $71,000, which is ridiculously low, even by Ohio standards. It's a clear sign of decay where homes are aging, property values are tanking, and people are just trying to hang on. And guess who they have as mayor? Brandon King, just being terrible.
Unfortunately, Mayor King does not recognize that he needs to follow the law.
3 News reached out to Mayor Brandon King for comment and did not hear back. But during the press conference, we were given a statement by East Cleveland's law director that says, quote, currently, we are in litigation with City Council involving not only the legitimacy of appointed councilors, but also there is a discrepancy involving whom they've hired as council clerk. Until both are resolved, we should expect these kind of accusations.
Where's the money? They didn't answer the question, where is the money? They just said accusations, where's the money? They didn't answer that question.
He doesn't communicate with us. He has separate meetings, which he restricts council from, even though he calls them council meetings.
Imagine being the mayor and just ghosting your entire city council. That's what's happening here. King's running his own private secret squirrel club while keeping the actual council in the dark. It's like he's a captain of a sinking ship, but instead of telling the crew, he's having private meetings in the captain's quarters, pretending everything is fine. This level of arrogance is unreal. Refusing to communicate with the council is straight up sabotage. If they aren't included in the decision making, how is anything supposed to get done? It's basically a one-man show, and the rest of the city is paying for it. Honestly, this is straight out of Hainier playbook. Be very petty and self-destructive. And it's turning East Cleveland into a political circus.
He's spending money that hasn't been appropriated. That's illegal. That's not okay.
On city property. Hello, I'm Sarah Goldenberg. Nicole and Brian are off today. It's another controversy involving another East Cleveland mayor. This time it's over whether the mayor, Brandon King, was doing anything wrong. Our Harry Boomer is live in East Cleveland with the story first at 4. Harry.
This town is no stranger to controversy. For at least the last 20 years, the East Cleveland mayors have been in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Is this latest allegation legit or much to do about nothing?
City Hall is not his personal club, and so it's not about repercussions, it's about doing what's right.
Justin Anderson is the deputy clerk of council for East Cleveland. He captured this video of Mayor Brandon King back in July.
It's devastating what's in the video. Our city leader, the mayor, is on camera drinking and smoking in our city hall.
Actually, the video is of the mayor at about 12:30 in the morning, sitting with several people in the garage attached to the East Cleveland City Hall.
I am devastated, and something needs to be done, and he needs to be held accountable.
So Brandon King is here. You got your city in financial ruins. Debts are piling up. People are pissed off. And what is King doing? Hosting a private frat party on city property at 12:30 in the morning. He has his drink in one hand. He has something to smoke on the other. He's like he's living his Wolf of Wall Street parody. Forget fixing the city's problems. Mayor King's more interested in turning City Hall garage into his personal VIP lounge. The audacity is just off the charts. It's like watching a disaster unfold in slow motion. But instead of trying to stop it, King's lighting up one more smoke and pouring another drink. Absolute legend. For all the wrong reasons. You are a mayor, guy. You are the mayor. You can't be looking like that. I mean, think about it. I mean, listen, we all like to smoke and drink, but at the same time, as the mayor, you shouldn't be doing that on city property. You would not want your employees, who are city employees, to be smoking and drinking on city property. Now, if you were doing great as a mayor, you're not burying the city into debt and things were improving, and the people would thought, you know what? Let the dude smoke and drink. He is killing it. He is doing a fantastic job for us. You're terrible at this. People want you gone. You've suffered through recall. You're going through recall votes and you're sitting there smoking and drinking. It's just a sad, embarrassing sight.
Mayor Brandon King provided a lengthy written response. Here's the part that's relevant to the allegation of his conduct. The mayor wrote, "If I want to wind down a 6 or 7 day work week by having a Guinness stout, not beer, and smoking a cigar in the garage after hours with staff, residents, and stakeholders, and discuss the dysfunction of our legislative body or the revitalization opportunities that are before us or international politics, no policy or media outlet is going to stop me."
You know, you could have just invited these people to your house or invite them into a bar or cigar lounge. Why do it on city property? Take the guys out to a place to where that is allowed. It's not that complicated. The fact that you can't even admit that you did something wrong shows that, again, we'll see later in the video, it shows the kind of person that Brandon King is.
We are following breaking news at this hour at 5 o'clock. The East Cleveland mayor indicted on felony theft in office and other charges.
Indicted. Yeah. Great job, Brandon King.
After months of allegations and finger-pointing by political opponents, this afternoon a Cuyahoga County grand jury returned a 16-count indictment against Mayor Brandon King, as well as former East Cleveland City Councilman Ernest Smith. Now, first, the allegations against King. Investigators say between January 2019 and just this month, King authorized contracts and payments through the city to businesses owned by the mayor and his family.
Way to go. Way to go. The classic small-town corruption bingo card is almost complete with this guy. King didn't even bother being sneaky. He's literally writing checks to himself. It's like he's running a personal side hustle from the mayor's office, sending contracts to his family businesses like it's nothing. This is the kind of stuff that makes people lose faith in any kind of leadership. If you can't trust your mayor not to funnel money into his own pockets, who can you trust? Instead of lifting East Cleveland out from the financial pit, King's out there digging a second hole to store his personal money. Just an absolutely shameless display of greed. If corruption had a Hall of Fame, Brandon King is definitely getting a nod.
In all, prosecutors say those contracts for a building lease and cleaning supplies totaled more than $76,000. Now,
wait, hold on a second, wait. That's a lot of damn money. 76 grand on cleaning supplies? I gotta ask, what is he cleaning? Did they wipe down the entire city? Is East Cleveland the cleanest city ever? This is some next level spending that makes no sense. Meanwhile, East Cleveland is falling apart, but I guess at least it's clean, right? If this doesn't scream mismanagement, I don't know what does. It's like watching someone burn through the lottery jackpot, but will still complain about being broke. $76,000 could have gone to fixing the roads or helping with public services, but nope. But King's out there buying a lot of Clorox, apparently. I mean, I guess that may be the solution for all of the city's problems. This is just another ridiculous example of his priorities being so out of touch with reality.
Here's where Ernest Smith comes in. Investigators say King improperly provided Smith a city-owned vehicle and gas cards to purchase fuel. Now, these are allegations we first told you about back in May. That's when the state auditor's office ordered Smith and King to repay the city nearly $6,800. At the time, Smith told us everything he used the car for was connected to being a councilman. So what does all of this mean? A spokesperson for the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office tells me in light of these charges, prosecutors will file asking the Ohio Supreme Court to suspend King from his job as mayor until this case is resolved. I'm told that filing could happen in the next couple of days. I'm also told this investigation is not over yet.
Nepotism at its finest. You always take care of your friends, even though you're being corrupt yourself. King's out there just handing out city vehicles and gas cards like they're party favors. Who wouldn't want free gas? But the catch is that it's on the taxpayer dime. It's like the buddy-buddy system where King's hooking up his pal with the ultimate government perks package. A city-owned vehicle, that's not something you can just throw at someone because they're your bro. And that much money for gas. Where's this person driving? You could probably drive to New York and back and spend less money. It's absolutely wild how little respect Brandon King has for the people's money, the taxpayer money, treating the taxpayer money like it's his money, its own personal piggy bank. This is corruption 101. At least with this story, the authorities are going to hold Brandon King accountable for his actions. So obviously we'll keep a track on this story. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.